October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. WBTW is committed to tearing down the secrecy of intimate crime and unmasking the cycle of abuse. Now, some of this information might be a little sensitive, so we invite you to take a moment to prepare. Domestic violence is used to gain power or control over another person. Now, a modern way to do that is called cyber harassment, also known as digital abuse or technical violence. It's defined as a pattern of persistent and unwanted online behavior used to harass, threaten, or intimidate another person. And here to talk more about domestic violence in our area is Linda Sweat of the Women's Club of North Myrtle Beach and Krista Cooper of the North Myrtle Beach Police Department. Thank you so much for both coming in today. So let's just begin by jumping in by identifying some of the behaviors that fall under the category of cyber abuse. I think people don't always know these. So let's start with stalking and harassment. That's repeated unwanted communication or threats. And then we have a full screen for you at some point. There's also sextortion. That's using sensitive photos or information as leverage. Then we talk about denigration. That's posting content designed to damage someone's reputation or livelihood. And finally, device access is about location tracking, monitoring conversations, even installing spyware. And then there's outing or doxing. That's exposing someone's private information. So again, sometimes these things just seem like, oh, my ex is being a jerk. It's actually a crime. So how bad have you seen the statistics around here as far as domestic violence is in Horry County?
As we already know, 1 in 3 women and 1 in 4 men have reported, and this is just documented reporting. We don't know what's going on, that's not being reported. But we do have a statistic about the deaths associated with domestic violence. There was 57 deaths in South Carolina, and 45 of them were by gunshot. And the South Carolina state legislatures passed a law that anyone convicted of domestic violence now cannot own a gun for 3 years. And that's a great start, so that we know we're making a difference and the laws are being strengthened. And there 45 of those victims that were, well, that's the gunshot.
Let's talk a little bit about the effects that being cyber stalked, being harassed, being intimidated online or on your device. What effect does that have on a victim?
So harassment is more just causing mental distress to a victim. It's the intentional, substantial intrusion into their life that causes mental distress. Mm-hmm. The stalking is when they actually fear that they might be killed or hurt. So
what does it feel? What does it do to a person to think they're being stalked, to think somebody's following them?
It's petrifying. And so for an example, I brought this bottle cap. Mm-hmm. And if a victim is being stalked by her ex and she goes out to her car in the morning to go to work and this bottle cap is sitting on her seat, it's just a Angry Orchard hard cider bottle cap, and to you and I, to even the responding officer that she may call the police and responding officer, it may seem like this is no big deal. But to her, she and her ex drank Angry Orchard apple cider all the time. So this is sending her a message that I know where you live, I have found you, and now you need to worry all the time.
Just a little calling card, just saying, I'm here and I'm watching.
And I'm watching you.
All right, so let's talk about the frightening connection between stalking and homicide. Because I understand 76% of victims who end up getting killed by an ex or their partner were stalked first. It's common.
Mm-hmm. That's true. And so what stalking is showing the victim is that I'm not relenting, I'm not letting up, I'm not quitting. So if they don't eventually get what they're after, and they're after the victim, so that leads them to elevate their behavior, and it can all the way lead to homicide.
So whether this is online, through your emails, on your phone, what is the most important thing a victim can do if they're experiencing this?
Report it, document it. So again, back to the bottle cap, back to anything, that may seem innocuous to you and I, they need to tell the police.
Write it down,
keep a log, the date, the time, where you were, and then always call the police. Even though you feel like you might be wasting the police's time, well, they're not going to take this seriously, but as the behavior escalates, and of course, if it ever ended in a homicide, they would have this paper trail.
The thing is, the police can't do anything unless there is a paper trail saying that there is a prior issue. So you must document, you must report. Ladies, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank
I want
you.
our viewers out there to remember that abuse is never the fault of the victim and help is available. If you're in immediate danger, call 911. The Family Justice Center can be reached at the number on your screen. Also, the number for domestic violence is there as well. You can always find these resources on our website. That's WBTW.com.